Hi, welcome to Delete That Later with Liz Fenton and Lisa Steinke.
We're best friends and co-authors having unfiltered conversations about the things you care about.
In our bear onesies.
In our bear onesies. We have bears onesies on. Do you want to say why we have them on, Lise?
Well, because the topic of this episode is going to be our launch week for our new novel. And we wore our bears onesies in some videos on Instagram, but we'll get into that in just a minute.
Well, that actually leads into our opening segment, which is Dear Diary. So I think I'm going to go first.
Okay.
Yeah, is that okay? I'm going to take up space.
You can take up space. Liz, what is your diary entry this week?
Dear Diary, I don't think I have a future in dancing. Well, so
my mother-in-law disagrees, but go ahead.
Well, so we decided, and this is going to be part of the bigger discussion today, but we wanted to do something different. You know, it's really hard right now to get people's attention. And anyway, we decided to do dancing. So we did 2 videos. One was basically like, you know, without bear costumes, dancing to like Kid and Play, and like old dances that we all used to do as Gen Xers. And then the second one, which was your idea, which was a great one, is to dance in bear costumes. And I think we danced to Vanilla Ice Baby. And, you know, I was not feeling great that day, so I'll give myself that.
You did mention that your body was aching a little bit.
Yeah, I think I was coming down with something. But, man, I was surprised you were a better dancer than me. I don't want to like shit on you, but like I thought I had more rhythm than you, and it was a little bit shocking and upsetting to me to see how much better you were than me when it was recorded.
Yes, I think that's a compliment.
It is, but I was also very surprised.
I didn't feel that way when I watched About You.
Your Running Man was pretty on point, and my I was doing the Roger Rabbit while you were doing the Running Man.
Yes.
And my Roger Rabbit was bad, and your Running Man was pretty good.
I do have a pretty good running man. I do have a pretty good running man.
We did a moonwalk.
Oh, and I had the wrong shoes on for that, but I could
Yours was still better than mine.
You were a cheerleader in high school. You had to be very coordinated. I don't think you're giving yourself enough credit, but the videos are out there, and when we talk about this more in a minute, we can tell you how to find them, and then maybe you can go tell us what you guys think of our dancing skills.
And also like the Milli Vanilli thing, it took me a while to get it.
You totally had it.
I had it, but it took a long time for me to get it.
Day. I don't know. I don't know if I want to give you this one. I think you look cute, but I'm really in love with us right now. Every time I watch the videos, because you did a really good job editing them, and I'm like, we're so cute.
She keeps sending me messages
about ourselves.
She's like, we're so cute. We're so cute. And I'm always like, we are.
Yeah,
it was fun. We'll get into.
Yeah, we're going to get into it because I have a lot more to say about it. And I'll tell you what my mother-in-law said about your dancing and my dancing.
Okay, so tell me what your diary entry is for this week.
So, Dear Diary, I did not make a New Year's resolution.
Do you normally?
So I don't. Normally. I mean, I think there have been certain years where
you present as someone that would make a New Year's resolution.
I think I do as well, which again, I think that's a compliment. I am doing so much stuff to like better myself all year that I feel like really like just because it's January 1st, I've got to do another one. And just with everything, I just wanted to ease into the year and not like take it too seriously. Like this is the year because last year, the beginning of 2025, I believe I said the words, this is going to be my year, out loud.
Has it been your year?
2025 was not my year.
Okay.
And I don't think it was anyone's year, and that's my point.
Yes.
So I've been hesitant to, like, say anything like that.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking good thoughts, you know? Like, trying to be positive, but I didn't want to be, like, I'm not going to do X anymore. Or actually, I think a New Year's resolution is supposed to be, I know this from my Dr. Phil days, I think technically it's supposed to be like a thing you're going to do, not a thing you're not going to do. So,
Well, sometimes when you're going to do something,
you're
it
not
means
g
you're
like,
gonna
if you're
not
like
do something
right.
else. I think that all ties
Like, if you're
together.
gonna quit smoking or something,
I'm
you
not
know,
I'm
like
not a New Year's resolution person either. I mean, I think that I do think there's beginnings, but I don't need to set. I'm like you. I feel like I'm always working
yeah.
on myself. Like I'm always trying to
We
be
work
better.
really hard on ourselves.
My God, in your 50s, it's just you gotta do so
You have to do
much.
so much. And, like, a funny story about that was my daughter noticed that I got some, like, Ilia mascara, and she's like, "Mom, what's going on here?" And I said, "Girl, you have better makeup than I" she's 15. Like, "You have better makeup than I do, and I go in your room and I'm jealous, so I'm now following, like, 25-year-old makeup influencers, and
Oh, I love
I
Ilia.
bought everything she said I could have." And she was like, I got, like, some Rhode, like, blush, and, like, she's really jealous of me right now, and I'm into it
You know,
because
I felt good because my daughter, when they came home, they were and they're like, "Mom, you have like all really cool." Because I've upped my makeup game the
yeah.
last year.
Your
Maybe
makeup
that was.
looks good
Oh,
today.
thanks.
You're
I
very
have this.
glowy. I
Yeah, I
see it.
have a thing. I use it. It was not. I invested and got this
Yeah.
one, and I'm forgetting the brand right now, but it's not a cheap brand. But I love. What the fuck is that brand's name? I what?
There's a lot of brands.
Oh my God, I can't remember.
It's probably at Sephora,
It
whatever it
it is
is,
at
and it's
Sephora.
you c
Yeah, I
yeah.
love it.
I am maybe that's kind of a resolution is I'm upping my makeup game because I feel like I get really boring. So I saw this like 25-year-old and she's like, just do this and this and this. And I just bought everything.
Yeah. I listened to I started contouring last year because of someone
Oh,
not
is that
contouring.
the thing where you like draw the lines on your
Yeah, I
face and
have
then,
I switched to that last year and now I don't actually contour now, but I kept part of it. It's fun. I went through I put the dots and then because I
oh,
kept seeing the Instagram
there's a
videos.
woman, like, around our age on Instagram, and she will take, like, a, Kylie Jenner makeup tutorial video, and then she'll mimic it and make fun of it. They are hilarious. She ends up looking like a clown every time. Kylie has, like, a six-step lip routine, and the woman is like, "Oh, yeah, keep going with your steps."
Oh
And
my
it's
God.
hilarious. She, like, plays Kylie and then herself, and now that I've said that, it's gonna end up on your phone, so you'll see her because I
Yeah.
haven't sent you the reels. Anyway, we should probably get into
Yes.
today's topic.
Yeah, so this won't air for a couple weeks this episode, but right now we are in our launch week as we're
Yes.
taping this. And, it's our ninth book. And, you know, we were like, how do we want to talk about launch week, pub day? And I think, as many of you know that have followed us to this podcast, our We Fight So You Don't Have to podcast, we did a pretty big rejection series and really talking very candidly about publishing. And it's funny, I see a lot of people doing that now, talking a lot more candidly about publishing. But when we
Yeah.
did our original podcast, nobody was really doing that yet, if I do
I
say so
no, I think
myself.
we can honestly, we can take credit for that. We were, like, very honest.
Yeah.
We did
So,
not hold back.
yeah. So if you're interested, go back and listen to those. But I said, I do want to talk about it in a real way. And I think one of the things that I'd like to explore is just the moving target that is marketing a
Yeah,
book, pub day marketing.
publicity, all that.
I think a lot of it is the world that we're in right now. I think it's really hard to hold people's attention. And I think that, people view reels mostly. If you're not doing reels, and so how do you make an impactful reel about your book? Because I notice, and we've mentioned on other podcasts, we've had a couple reels go viral about parenting. Like I think
Right.
that one is like at almost 5 million now.
Yeah.
But when we post about book stuff, and I've
Right.
talked to other authors, same thing. They'll have reels go viral about
Yeah.
other things and they post about their book, and they'll still get somewhere 8,000-9,000 views, which is good.
Yeah.
It's not bad, but
But you're like, "Why can't we get 4.5 million eyes on our book?" That's the
it just
trick.
yeah. And so when we did the dancing videos,
Right.
when we came up with that concept, was trying to merge those two things because I think what we've learned about reels doing well is would they send this in a group chat?
Right.
Would they send this to their friends, to their kids? And that's hard to do with a book because, like, where's that common you have to find that
Yeah,
common thread.
it's more like promotional. No matter what you do, it's like promotional, and so if they're not a reader or that particular book you're talking about isn't for them, then they just move on, and so it's just it's not it's almost so specific that
Yeah.
I think yeah, so we danced with the books, but we made it about the dancing, and
They've done okay.
yeah, they've done
I
okay.
think the Bear ones is doing a little better than the Gen X one. I mean, I think they're doing okay. I'm happy because I didn't expect them to go over 10,000,
Right.
really, just because you can kinda see that trend, but
Yeah, you can tell.
really the bigger question is okay, and let's take publishing marketing out of it
Yeah.
because if you're an author and you're listening to this, I'm gonna tell you a truth you may not wanna hear. 90% of your book's success depends on what your publisher does for you.
Yeah,
So, if your
exactly.
publisher's not doing anything for you, I'm not saying your book will not succeed, but you have a harder road ahead of you.
Yeah, a
And,
much harder
and
road.
I do think they do only pick a couple books a month to really put their marketing money behind.
It's true, and I mean, we've been now with all the whole gamut of publishers, and it's true with all of them. So it doesn't really matter what the publisher is. They select certain books, and then those books just seem like they get everything,
Yeah.
like every lever. They're everywhere, and then it's so I don't know. It's almost like the marketing money could be dispersed across more books, but it's not because it's kind of like the rich get richer. It's like if it's an author who is already doing really well, then they put even more into
Right.
it versus we've had this conversation tons of times. It's
Yeah.
like, why not put more money into the authors that need that extra boost?
I've
Um,
always said since literally our first book, I remember saying this when we were at Simon and Schuster, when we were at Atria to our editor at the time. Like, if you guys just bought less books and put more money into each book on marketing,
right.
you would have so many more home runs. But I do think most publishers buy a lot of books
Yeah.
and then they bet big on a small percentage of them, and then the rest they're just like, well, if something happens, great. If
And if it
not,
doesn't, we gave a very
well,
low advance, so, oh, well, it's just kind of I remember you coming into, I remember we were in the publisher's office at
Atria.
Atria, and you were pitching this great idea for publicity it just everyone was kind of like, yeah, but nobody really wanted to think outside the box. It was really interesting. And I do hope to be hopeful that publishing's going to move in a trend where like, I hate to say it, but maybe some like younger people with more energy will come in and bring more of a marketing, like what they're doing on social media and hiring those marketing, like those younger, like, marketing people that are in touch with everything, they're getting it going on TikTok. It's like that same mindset needs to come to the books
Yeah.
overall, and it's just there's a disconnect, and I don't there's, like, the system is out of date, and someone needs to come update it.
And it's such a moving target
Right,
that,
which
for
does
me.
make it hard in their defense, but
Yeah, I mean, many of like, I have a day job that is, sales and marketing based,
right.
and I mean, how many times have I brought an idea
Oh.
to which is, like, a good idea, but we can't execute it on our own, or if we did execute and sometimes we have gone and executed on our own, but
Yeah,
we really need the publisher's backing on a lot of things, and they're
yeah.
just like, "No."
In
And
which we've had in some cases, and then we did these big splashes of publicity, but you don't even know if they're doing you can't tell, and
Mhm.
this is part of the problem, and I'm probably making their case now, the publisher's case, which is you can put all this money out, but you can't really tell if it's doing anything for sales. Is that why all the people bought it? Unless you're doing ticketed
The thing
events.
with publicity and marketing to a lesser extent is it's not tangible, right? Like, you're putting it out there and seeing if people will react, but you
Right.
don't know before you do it. And the other thing with publishing, and I would say all publicity marketing at this point, is that whatever worked this time last year
Right.
may not, probably won't work now. And so it is interesting. I think that for me, and Lisa knows this about me, I hate doing what everyone else is doing. I always am
Yeah.
like, I want to do something different. I want to be the first person to think
The
about it
thing about
differently.
that is we're often the first person, and for some reason, other people will take our idea and then their thing blows
Well,
up.
maybe everyone hates us.
But we're so cute. Look at us in our Bears onesies.
Oh my
I think
God.
honestly, sometimes we're so ahead of the curve with that stuff that it does take a minute to build. And by the time someone else hops on, their thing
Yeah.
can often take off. It's a timing thing too, but we do and have come up with a lot of really good ideas. And I do think people like looking at us dancing. We're
Well,
cute.
I think looking at us dancing makes people feel better about themselves, which I'm happy for
Yeah,
them.
and better just about the world that somebody can dance in a bear costume and make them laugh for a
I mean, my
second. I
my
think we made a
case,
lot of people laugh.
yeah, and you know this, but my case for doing these videos was like, let's just have fun. If it takes off and it sells
Yeah.
books, great. But really only want to do stuff that brings us joy, because you don't know, and it's so, and it can be very frustrating. At ninth book in, and a book
Yeah.
coming out in January, which we've always been summer release, and I
Right.
think that January is the right month for the Naysayers to
Yeah,
come
it
out.
is. It's a very
But
good month
but
for
it
it.
is a different vibe.
It
January is like a whole different
it
vibe.
just like, yeah, we're not like at the beach. We're not talking about taking our book on vacation, although you should.
Yes.
But yeah, it is a different. We've always, right?
Been
Correct me if I'm
April
wrong.
April to
April to
August.
August.
Yeah.
And then I thought, our publisher, I thought it was smart to put us in January because it's a book about, anxiety and overthinking and a lot of more than that. But
It's
those are like,
timely. It's very
it's
timely
timely as
too.
well.
Yeah.
So it's like, it touches on a lot of topics that you think about at the beginning of the year, especially like what you want to kind of change. And so I get why it's in January, but it does feel a little, yeah. So we came up yet again with another kind of over the top idea, and we did it. I mean, do you think they would have like I feel like you're a little more in touch with this because of your viral Trader Joe's video and your other video about cleaning up after your kids. You've had several that have gone viral. Do you think because we put all the dancing out at the same time, do you think if we'd spaced them, or was it too much
I don't
dancing for people? Not that they did bad, but they didn't do as well as
I
like.
think if you're getting around 10,000 on those, they're a success. It comes
But
back
we
to that.
did it, so
But
I'm.
it comes back to that thread. When we're talking about our books, even if we're dancing, what
Yeah,
is the
yeah,
motivation to
right.
send that to a group chat?
And
That
that's what it is,
that
right?
is
To
how
share
you
it.
go viral, where you're like, "Oh my God, my best
Right.
friend needs to see this. My kids need to see this. My
People are
husband needs."
sending it to other
So
people. People are sharing it. Yeah.
I've kind of feel like I've cracked the
Yeah,
code
I
on the
think that is.
mental part of
Well, you
it.
know what I'll tell you is, I've been seeing a lot of influencers now, they'll say they're making it like I follow these mentioned like the makeup, but I follow these like influencers who are, showing you all these clothes, and they'll say if you want the link, you need to share it. Now they're saying
Mhm.
share it. So I do think the share part of the
Well,
equation
no,
is,
that's what
yeah,
it is.
you're right.
Well, because I keep so and
But
I
they didn't used to say that. That's
Yeah.
new, and they're
Well,
all
that's
doing it now.
because I'll tell you, because in the edits app, I keep a really close eye
Yeah.
when it launches, like what,
Right.
and as soon as it starts getting shared a lot is when it
Yep.
really, the numbers start going crazy. And not reposted, not the little thing. It's actually the share where
Yeah,
someone's
they're saying,
hitting
"Go to
that
the
little
arrow, hit
arrow
the arrow," like they
and
say.
copy, and well, even not to their thing, but people are sending it to
Yeah,
group
it doesn't
chats
matter
the
where. I
way
don't
we
even
do.
think it matters if
It
you share
doesn't.
it on or off the platform.
It does not. And
Yeah.
so that, and for anybody listening who's, wants to get more views, you have to think in
Yeah.
that vein. What do I send to, because we have several group chats. So we have a group
Right.
chat with our husbands. We have a group chat with the other Lisa.
Yes.
We have a group chat with the other Lisa and then Anita and our
Yeah.
friend Denise.
Yeah.
And then now there's a new group chat with our husbands and the other
Yeah.
Lisa. Then I have a my day job group chat with like just a certain amount of people, and we
Yeah.
all send shit. And then
Yeah.
I just said, oh, and then I have a group chat with my kids.
Right.
And so
Yeah, I have a family one too.
you have to think it listen, and here's the other thing I'm gonna say, and I kind of said this when we were coming at the comm set. Not every reel is gonna go viral, and that's okay. You have to be
Yeah.
providing consistent
Yeah.
content because when that person who saw it and liked it comes and looks at your grid, you want to have content where they're like, oh, this person actually puts out like content
Right.
consistently and I want to follow them. So if your expectation is every reel's going to hit over 200,000, I think that's really unrealistic. I think if you have, a couple like I mean, that Trader Joe's one was posted at Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
It is still going
It
crazy.
is
It's
still
still going
yeah,
crazy.
it is
And
still
that one
building.
where I recreated like the
Yeah.
holiday memories is almost at 2 million
Right.
now. And so I guess what I'm saying is we need to think about our book marketing in that same vein, but it's not the same thing.
Right, that's the trick. It's
So
like
you do your
how
best. I
you
think
do your best. I think
Bears
we're
was a
getting I
crossover.
think we're getting there because you're right. I also don't wanna do the same videos that the other authors are doing because there all are these, like,
And they're cute
trends.
and we
They're
love them.
cute
Yeah.
and we love them, and maybe that's working for them, but I think also it's like, what's your brand? I'm like, our brand is, quirky and like making like laughing at
Yeah.
ourselves and laughing at everything. And so we have to we can't completely follow because, well, A, we're not followers, and B, that isn't us to like
Yeah.
do those.
I don't even want
We did
to
like a
do that.
couple like that, but I think those were just like
I
I
like
like the ones
enjoying.
we
I like
did,
it is
and
interesting.
I like what they're doing.
I like reading that content
Yeah,
and I always look at it
me
and I
too.
like it. I just don't want to do that content.
There's an enormous amount of pressure though to do it. Once you see like, oh, authors are doing this now, it's like I imagine everybody in their
And I'm
different.
always like,
You
"No."
did, but you let me do the 2016 trend,
I
which I
did.
was happy
So
about.
here's something. Lisa loves a good trend
I
on Instagram,
do.
but I think it's great. Here's what I'm going to tell you. This goes back to my point that you should be making things. You shouldn't be making things with the intention everything's going to go viral. And
Right.
I think that content is good. I think like
Yeah.
when you're following, it's not going to go huge. But I actually was thinking about this yesterday because you did the 2016 yesterday, and I loved what you did. And I'm like, I'm actually really happy that Lisa does this content
Yeah.
because the content that parenting stuff it shows up and it's there and I do it. I don't know how consistent I can be because
Right.
I want to be really authentic with it. So I like in
Yeah.
the moment I'll think of something and do it. So I'm actually really appreciative
Yeah.
that you do it. And that's totally your brand, like to see it and want to do it. And I
And
love that about
and
you.
also what I was going to say is just like it showcases us, and so we are getting
I
a ton
agree.
of new followers through these other videos that don't have anything to do with the books, but they're seeing our humor.
We've gotten almost 3,000 new
I
followers
know,
since
and you
Thanksgiving.
guys, were sitting at 7,000 followers for like 5 years. And granted, there was a number of years, like around the COVID time, that we weren't trying to increase our followers, but then and then last year I was kind
I ran away. I
you and
ran
I both
away.
kind of ran away and we were kind of checked out and because we just wanted a break, which I think is fine, but then we both came back to it and I started looking at it like, okay, how are we going to get followers? And I started looking at like the trends and ways to do it and I was trying all that and then of course that helped a little, but we would get like 1 follower, 2 followers and then now you've done these videos about your kids and your kids being messy, in particular,
They're
your kid
disgusting.
yeah, and that's really relating to people, but what I think is great about it is we've gotten a ton of followers because they think it's funny, and then I think we are funny in the other stuff too, so we've talked about this. Hopefully, they'll see those videos follow us and then see the Bears thing and go, "Oh, they also write books," and then, "Oh,
Right.
maybe I should go see what those books are about
It's a
because
long
their
play.
books might be funny." It is a long play, which I'm here for considering we were at 7,000 followers for, like, 5 years, and now we've had 3,000 new followers in, like, 3 months. So, I'm fine with this because we're finally gonna cross over 10,000 followers, which is awesome,
I
and
do think too, there just has to be a lot of authenticity to
yes.
it. And, that's always my thing is like just authenticity. But I think like the way we approach it, and I think both approaches are needed, or so our personalities, right? Like
Yeah.
you do the research and you
Yeah.
check in and then you have a plan and you make a note and you share the
Yeah.
note. And then I was just like, turn it on. I'm like, let's like put like 5 seconds of thought into it. And that is like so our personalities.
It is, and also the fact that yours would go viral and you put no thought into it is like, "Okay, great. Now what am I" but, like, we know we've
But
talked
we
about
need your
why.
content
We
too, though.
do, and I'm telling you, that 2016, trend, I saw it and I saw it going
I
on, and I
actually
was like,
thought what you did was so
I went
cute.
back so then I went back through our 2016 year, and we had a really, like, incredible year with our books and everything we were doing, and I was like, it was really fun to kinda look at it and put together what we did and kinda look at how different we are in 10 years, and I think it's kinda cute for new followers in
Mhm.
particular to see kind of our trajectory and to see kinda how we were 10 years ago and where we are now, and I thought it was pretty funny too.
I
I don't
thought you did a really good job. So I want you to know, and I'm saying it
Yeah,
publicly,
I know I did a
that
good job, but
content
thank
is
you.
needed, and
It
I'm
is.
glad that you're doing
I
it.
think it's good. We have to have a balance. I mean, we obviously just can't have all like messy kid videos. I could start doing them about my teen if we want, but it's like, we do have to, we are also authors and friends and doing things too. So
Can I switch gears a little bit?
please do.
I would like so we talked about like the vibes being different having a January pub day.
Yeah.
And like for instance, like I was at a meeting this week, like for work,
Yeah.
for my day job. And it's funny, I didn't even get to talk live to Lisa that day, because when you're in these meetings,
Yeah.
like, I mean, I think that day it started like at 7:45, and then we went to dinner. I mean, we weren't done till like 9
Yeah.
or 10 o'clock at night, and really no free time. And so, like, I put a copy of the book in my bag in case, like, I mean, those guys all know I write books. And then, like a couple people were like, oh, your book's out today because they follow us on social media. But I just told Lisa, like, it's so anticlimactic. And
Yeah.
also, like, people don't really understand the publishing industry. So, like, the next day, like, people were like, how many books did you sell? And I'm like, it doesn't work like that. So
Yeah.
I just thought it was a little anti.
I had a very similar day. You were at that meeting. My husband was traveling, and so I was basically alone all day. My daughter was here, and we like had a coffee on the way to school. That was my big moment. That was sweet and cute. But we didn't do anything. We didn't have like a launch party. We didn't, do an event. So it was a very interesting, and then I do this charity organization and I had a board meeting for it, and there were like 15 people there, and I don't even know who knows I even write books cuz I don't always like lead with it obviously. It's just like what we
Yeah,
do.
and
You
it's
know what I
weird
mean?
for
It's
me when
weird to
I'm
be
at
I
work.
wasn't going to be
Yeah.
like, "Hey everyone, like I wrote a book today and it's my pub day and like
Yeah.
you wanna, like, do a toast? It felt weird to, like so I didn't bring it up, and then I just came home and, like, it was over at, like, 9 o'clock, and I came home and went to bed. I mean, so it was a
I
very
I ordered it. So we had dinner.
Oh, yeah, you
I
sent me a
ordered a glass. So
picture.
Lisa usually drinks champagne. I'm a vodka drinker. I
Yeah.
ordered a glass
You
of champagne
did?
and I had it. Then I was like sipping it and my friend from work sitting next to me was like, "Oh, you got champagne?" I said, "Oh, I'm toasting myself." She's like, "Why?" I was like, "'Cause my book came out today," which she knew. And she's like, "Oh, yeah." And listen, not that people need to jump up and down. I think it was a different experience for us. And that's kind of when I'm talking like January, different vibes. Like Mike Fenton's birthday was last weekend. Like there was a lot going on
Yeah.
around this time where a event wasn't really going to work. And so we kind of moved off of
And
it.
also, we talked about this, it's just, like, events are different. Not everyone's doing events now. Certain authors are, but again, it goes back to like the more established you are, then your publisher gives you a big book tour and so
And we've had those.
and
I
we've
mean, we
had
we went
those.
on
And again,
those.
you don't
Yeah.
even know what's moving the needle
Yeah.
when you do those.
I don't think events move the needle
I don't necessarily either. They just make you feel
unless you're
good.
like a Laura Dave or a Taylor
Right.
Jenkins Reid.
Right, and then they're coming to the bookstore, they're buying the book, or it's a ticketed event, so you're definitely getting book sales, and yeah, it's a tricky, interesting sometimes it's nice to have those events, though, just because you get to
So you're not having like a glass of champagne by yourself,
at
like
least
at
you had a
the
glass of champagne. I didn't even have a glass of
it
I mean,
gave me a
people
stomach ache, which I felt like was appropriate and
there
like
so the woman that was hosting had some wine, but I have this thing where I can't drink any wine unless it's not from the United States. It's my new thing, and I've been listening to Good Hang with Amy Poehler. You told me about it, and she and Gwyneth Paltrow just did an episode, and they were talking about how after 50, it's really, really hard to drink alcohol, and usually you just kind of stop, or you have to do. For me, it's like I have to do a million preparatory things in order to even have
yeah.
alcohol now.
I've had to do that for a long time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you've had to do it, and for me, it was just, like, almost like clockwork, and so she had some wine, and she's like, "Do you want some?" And I thought about it because it was pub day, but then I looked, and it was good wine, but it was from the United States, and I said, "No, that's okay," and I just brought my water bottle that I
You
carry
snobby
everywhere.
bitch, you were mad they didn't have Italian wine at your
I
charity
guess
board meeting?
I'll tell you this much, I didn't think, on top of everything else, a hangover would be very fun. I didn't think it was gonna be worth the silent sip because no one there knew I had a book come out, or if they did, they didn't mention it. So I would be silently sipping, and then the next day I'd wake up with a headache, and I thought, "No, that's okay. I'm just gonna drink my bottle of water I brought with me tonight." And I did, and it was fine. It's not like they need to know I had a book come out. We all have day jobs there, and it's not like everyone's like, "How was your day job today?" But again, I just
Well, you know what I thought was cool?
yeah.
Is maybe to kinda end this on, like, a
Yeah, yeah,
positive
no, let's be
note,
positive now.
is that morning, I sent you a text,
Oh, yeah,
and
this
it
is
was basically like, "Hey, I know we're basically not doing shit, and I'm at this meet, and, but I think it's important that we celebrate that we
yep,
have written 9 novels together and that we celebrate each other." And, we do love this book. I
yeah,
think this book's really special, and, it's probably the most special book to me personally. And what's really weird is Lisa had been, like, typing out a text to
yeah.
me, and it said, seriously, the exact same thing.
It did, it was so weird when yours came in because I was sitting there getting ready, and I'm like, "I should send Liz." We're just notoriously bad, like, even when we're together over the years for book events, we don't always like celebrate ourselves.
Right.
Like, and so I thought, we're not together today. That's okay. Like, I should just send her like a congratulatory note. Like, we should be proud of ourselves. We did this, it's an accomplishment. And because I have to say, it is an accomplishment and it's so easy to lose sight of that. But we have we have published 9 novels. We've written even more than that. I mean, just to even write one book is an accomplishment. To get one book published is an accomplishment. And so what we've done, it's like I have to always remind myself, but then I go online and you get in those moments of like, but that person's book is this. And you start thinking, well, because your book isn't just this ginormous success and you're not like a celebrity book club pick, then what you did and Matt always reminds me about this because Cheryl Strayed, she has a book about tiny little things, and it's back when she was a what's the word? Advice
Advice columnist.
columnist. And so she put a book together on it, and it also became a show, which was really good on TV. But anyway, one of her columns, she talks about writing, and she's just like, forget exactly how she said it, but she's like, write just because you love it. Just write what you love and write because you love it. And she's just kind of saying, like, don't really be proud of what you wrote and love what you wrote and don't have to measure it against like how many people buy it or read it. It's I try to remind myself about that only because it is easy to get lost in it and to start thinking, well, this didn't have as much success, so maybe it's not as
Yeah.
good, or like, and I
I
really think this book, The Naysayers, is so good. I'm really in love with Us right now, so I think it's really good and it's funny and
I
it
I will say to
it has
your
all the
point,
feelings.
yeah,
Yeah.
that this book and I would say moving forward, that is definitely my mindset, and
Yeah.
this book, I hope it sells well, but if it doesn't, I'm still really, really happy that
Yeah.
I wrote it. I do think
Yeah.
and we our episode 1 of this podcast kinda goes into more of what it's about. We won't go into it here, but if you want a something that's funny, but also, like, makes you think and very timely to today's society, that is this book, and I'm happy that we wrote it. I'm happy I wrote it with you, and if 5 fucking people write it sorry, if 5 fucking people
Read
read
it.
it, fine. Fine.
Yeah. I
Fine.
mean,
I mean, that's not my desire,
right.
but I have made peace with that, and that wasn't always the case with all the books we've written, but that is where I'm at with this book. So, if you were one of the 5 people,
I think
thank you.
I can safely tell you there's more than 5 because I can see in NetGalley how many people have reviewed it. So
Yes.
more than 5 people have read it at this point, but I get your point. And I just think, look, it's gonna get in the right hands, and it's like every other book we've written. It's just you never know. Again, it's a lot like what we were talking about with the Instagram reels. You just don't know what's gonna hit, what book's gonna resonate, what you just a lot of different things have to happen, and especially if you aren't, picked by one of those book clubs or you don't get certain things with it to put more eyes on it, then you just kind of have to hope it gets in word of mouth and into the system and
So, we'll
works
see, you
out.
guys.
So we'll
We're
see.
just, like, a couple days in,
Yeah,
so
I mean,
yeah.
so far so good. I mean, our
Yeah,
rank
it's
was
going
good the
well.
first day. It's
Yeah.
going well. So I am cautiously optimistic, but again, I really mean this. I'm not super worried about the outcome of it.
I'm not
And that
either.
feels good. And I also saw Ryan Serhant say something recently on Instagram, and he said, "I don't worry about things because what's the point? Because then if the thing I'm worried about happens, I worried twice." And I
Oh, I
thought,
like that.
"Isn't that good?"
Yeah.
I just thought, "You know what? That is so true."
Gonna stop you there
Yeah.
because I think that's kinda what we're
Yes.
gonna talk about on a
And
future
yes.
episode.
Yes.
So, because 'cause we're gonna start pulling out some themes of the naysayers and kind
Yep.
of exploring them more. So, all right, guys, you can find us on Instagram at Lisa and Liz. You can find us on Facebook, Liz Fenton and Lisa Steinke, and all of our links are always on our website.
And
Oh,
Substack.
oh yeah, Substack, Liz Fenton and Lisa Steinke.
I think we're Liz and Lisa on Liz and Lisa's newsletter, but you can
Fine.
also find that in all the right places. That's what she said.
Yes, and you can find all of these links at our website,
Oh,
lizandlisa.com.
forgot to follow up on what my mother-in-law said about your dancing because I
Yes.
did tease it, and I know everybody here is still listening for
Okay.
this
Uh-huh.
comment for what
Okay.
Catherine said about your dancing. She said you had a lot of rhythm. She said we both did, and she actually saved the video to her phone so she could watch it or
Yeah, does she
somehow
have,
save
like
the link
I
or
think
I
she might have cataracts or something, but it's fine.
She actually has really good vision. So I just want you to know that there is one nearly 80-year-old woman in the Villages, Florida, who thinks you can dance. And
Great.
like you said about the books, if only one person thinks you can dance, then maybe you
Great.
can dance.
Great. On that note, it's time to say goodbye, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.